She's standing in the kitchen, apron still on, hands dusted with flour, when her granddaughter runs in from the car. 6 years old, coat half-zipped, cheeks cold from outside. And instead of saying hello, she just presses her face straight into her grandmother's stomach and breathes in. Doesn't say a word. Just stands there for 3 full seconds with her eyes closed. And when she finally pulls back, she says, "You smell like you." Not "you smell good." Not "what's that perfume?" Just "you smell like you." Like it's a fact of the universe, like the sky being blue. That's the moment I want you thinking about for the next few minutes, because that little girl isn't reacting to a perfume. She's reacting to a memory she's building right now, one she'll carry for 60 years, the same way some of us can still smell our own grandmother's hallway if we close our eyes, or the inside of her handbag, or the collar of a coat that's been gone for decades. So today I'm giving you 9 perfumes that don't just smell nice, they do something almost nobody talks about. They make you unforgettable to the people who love you. Husbands who've stopped noticing anything in years suddenly leaning in. Grandkids who run to you before they run to anyone else. Strangers in elevators asking what you're wearing, then asking again a week later because they never forgot it. And I promise you, scent number 5 is the one that keeps coming up in stories exactly like the one I just told you, so stay with me because we are building to something. Number 1. Chanel Coco Mademoiselle. I'm starting here because if you've been anywhere near a fragrance counter in the last 20 years, you already know the name, but knowing the name and understanding why it works are two different things. Coco Mademoiselle opens bright with orange and bergamot, but it doesn't stay bright. It settles into rose and jasmine, then finishes in patchouli and soft amber. That combination is the reason this perfume reads as confident rather than sweet. It's not asking to be liked. It already assumes it is. Wear it on your wrists and just behind your ears, and let it warm up against your skin for 20 minutes before you walk out the door. The opening citrus fades fast, and what's left underneath is what people actually remember. Number 2. Yves Saint Laurent Black Opium. Now we shift completely. Where Coco Mademoiselle is elegant and composed, Black Opium is bold on purpose. Coffee, vanilla, and orange blossom, all folded together into something that smells almost edible without ever tipping into juvenile. This is the one fragrance experts specifically point to as proof that a scent can be sophisticated and irresistible at the same time. The coffee note keeps the vanilla from turning into something a teenager would wear, and the vanilla keeps the coffee from turning sharp. If you want a scent for evenings, for dinners, for the version of you that walks into a room and doesn't apologize for it, this is it. One spray at the base of your throat because heat rises and you want this one rising all night. Number 3. Calvin Klein Eternity. This one has been quietly beloved since 1988, and there's a reason it never really left. It opens green and citrus forward, almost sharp, then folds into freesia light, slightly powdery, instantly familiar to an entire generation of women who wore it in their 30s and are wearing it again now in their 60s, except this time they know exactly why it works. Eternity doesn't chase trends. It has simply always been correct. And that consistency is exactly what makes it comforting to the people around you. A scent a husband has known for 30 years doesn't need explaining. Just means home. It means Tuesday dinners and Sunday mornings and every ordinary day in between, which is exactly the kind of memory that ends up mattering most. Number 4. Parfums de Marly Delina. Here's where things start to get interesting because this one surprises people. Rhubarb and lychee up top. Genuinely unexpected, genuinely alive. Moving into Turkish rose and peony, and finishing on a creamy vanilla with a whisper of musk. It's been ranked among the most talked about fragrances in recent luxury roundups for a reason. It manages to smell fresh and rich at the exact same time, which almost no perfume pulls off. This is your someone stops you and asks what you're wearing perfume. Spray it on the inside of your elbows, not just your wrists. The fold of your arm holds warmth, and warmth is what pulls this fragrance open. Now before I give you number 5, I need to say something to somebody watching this right now. If you have worn the exact same perfume since 1995 out of habit, not because you tested it recently and it still felt like you, I need you to hear this gently. Habit and identity are not the same thing. Your nose stops registering your own scent after a few minutes of wearing it. That's just how smell works. It's called olfactory fatigue, and it happens to every single one of us regardless of age. So the perfume you think you're wearing at full strength might be reaching everyone else at half of what it used to be. Or worse, it might have quietly changed on your skin over the years without you noticing. because our body chemistry shifts as we get older, and a fragrance that smelled one way at 40 can smell completely different at 65. That's not a criticism. That's just biology. And it's exactly why this next one matters so much. Number 5. The one I promised you. Guerlain Shalimar. This is the fragrance I keep hearing about in stories, just like the one I opened with: grandchildren, husbands, strangers, all reacting to it the same way. Shalimar is built on bergamot and vanilla, wrapped around a base of iris, incense, and warm amber. What makes it different from every gourmand vanilla on this list is that it isn't sweet in the candy sense. It's sweet the way a fireplace is sweet, the way an old leather-bound book is sweet. This is the fragrance and psychology research keeps circling back to when explaining why certain scents work on children and romantic partners at the same time. Vanilla is processed by the brain's limbic system, the same region that stores emotional memory, and it's one of the most universally coded safe smells that exists on Earth. A child leaning into vanilla and amber isn't smelling perfume. They're smelling comfort itself, the same comfort they get from a warm blanket or a familiar lullaby. And a husband catching that same warmth isn't smelling perfume either. He's smelling something closer to sensuality, because amber and incense read as intimate and grounding at the same time. Shalimar is the rare fragrance built to land as nostalgic safety to a child and quiet seduction to a partner, from the exact same base notes, which is an almost impossible balance to strike. That's not an accident of chemistry. That's why perfumers still study this formula more than a century after it launched, and why it keeps resurfacing generation after generation instead of fading into the past the way so many other scents do. Wear it low, the base of your throat and the inside of your wrists, and let the dry down do the work over the first hour instead of judging it in the first 5 minutes. Number 6. Prada Infusion d'Iris. After something as rich as Shalimar, I want to give you the opposite: clean, linen fresh, almost architectural. Iris and narrowly over soft musk and light woods. This is 2020's excess real signature scent direction for mature women. The quiet pivot away from loud statement perfumes toward what the industry is now calling skin scents. Fragrances that sit close to you rather than filling a room. It's a shift worth paying attention to, because for years the advice was always to wear something bold enough to be remembered from across a room, and now the more sophisticated approach is almost the opposite. Something so refined that people only really notice it when they lean in close, which somehow makes it feel more intimate and more memorable, not less. If Shalimar is your evening self, Infusion d'Iris is your Tuesday morning self, the one running errands and still smelling deliberate, still smelling like she thought about it even though nobody else knows how much thought went in. One spray on your collarbone is genuinely enough. Quick pause, tell me in the comments what you're wearing right now, today, this exact minute. Not your special occasion perfume. Your everyday one, the one in your bag or on your dresser that you reach for without even thinking about it anymore. I read every single one of these, and I promise you some of the best recommendations on this channel have come directly from women in the comments telling each other what actually works, which is exactly the kind of thing this community was built for. Number 7. Lancôme Idole. Bergamot and rose at the top, but centered around a jasmine heart that feels audacious rather than delicate. This one has been described by fragrance experts as empowering, and I don't think that word is used loosely here. It's a scent that photographs almost like body language. Confident, upright, unbothered, the kind of fragrance that seems to straighten your posture the moment you put it on. Wear it when you need to walk into something that intimidates you a little, a first appointment, a difficult conversation, a room full of people you don't know yet. It helps more than you'd expect, and more than a perfume really has any right to. Number 8. Jo Malone Peony and Blush Suede. Now we soften completely. This one opens with red apple, moves through peony, and settles into a suede base that keeps it from ever feeling too young or too sweet. It's the perfume equivalent of a soft cashmere sweater. Unshowy, quietly rich, the kind of scent that doesn't announce itself but somehow everyone remembers it on you specifically, long after they've forgotten what you were wearing that day or what you talked about. If Idol is your armor, this is your comfort. The fragrance for slow mornings and long lunches, and the days you want to feel gently put together rather than dressed for battle. Layer it lightly, 2 sprays maximum. Because subtlety is the entire point of this fragrance and heavier application only works against it. Number 9, the most unexpected one, and I saved it for last on purpose. A skin scent layering technique. Not a single bottle. A warm amber or sandalwood base fragrance, worn underneath a lighter floral. Fragrance experts in 2026 keep pointing to this exact idea. that the most memorable mature women aren't wearing one perfume anymore. They're building a signature the way you'd build an outfit, a warm base layered under something lighter on top, the same way you'd layer a silk camisole under a blazer. Sandalwood and cedarwood are described by scent researchers as grounding, almost literally. They lower perceived stress in the people around you, the same way a deep, calm voice does in a tense room. Spray your warm base low on your stomach and the small of your back, then your lighter floral higher up on your neck and wrists so the two notes rise together instead of competing. As the day goes on and the top notes fade, what's left is something almost nobody else is wearing, because almost nobody else knows to build it that way, and that alone is what makes it feel like it belongs entirely to you. So here's what I want you to take from all 9 of these. A signature scent is one of the quietest tools you have. Quieter than an outfit, quieter than a hairstyle, quieter than anything you'll ever post a photo of. And yet it might be the single most powerful impression you leave on the people who love you. Your grandchildren won't remember what you wore to their birthday party. They'll remember how you smelled when you hugged them. And they'll spend the rest of their lives chasing that exact feeling in perfume counters they don't even know they're chasing it in. That's not vanity. That's legacy in a bottle. Next episode, we're talking about the one accessory almost every stylish woman over 60 owns and never wears correctly. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it on yourself. I'll see you there.